How am I handling the death of my other macaw? Yeah. How do you handle the death of a parrot? They're incredible. You bond them. They're like children. Hey guys, no, don't eat my button, please. Don't eat the button. Hey guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of The PARROT BLISS Bond. Get your copy on Amazon.com today, so that you can have a blissful bond with your parrot, but hopefully your parrot won't pass on like mine. If you want to get blissed out and watch me play with Kailani a little, by play I mean she's gonna preen me, beak me, and today I'm going to talk to you about how I'm handling her sister's death, then you're in the right place. If you're used to hanging out, thanks for being here. All right, so we've got some self-preening going on. Kailani has a lot of pin feathers in her head, so she is letting me kind of scratch at them. You can kind of see some of the ones up here, the little white-looking feathers, or pins. And she's scratching her head and enjoying getting some head rubs. Cami was Kailani's sister, not blood-related, but sisters because they were both here together. We got Cami when she was like 6 weeks old, and I hand-fed her. She was a Harlequin macaw. And I think that this summer when we had our roof done, I think the noise of, you know, the roofers taking the tile off, using the staple gun to, gentle, I'm just moving my hand. Using the staple gun to put the black paper down and stuff like that, I think it stressed her out. And my theory is that brought out the PDD. PDD stands for proventricular dilation disease, which now has a new name, and it used to be called macaw wasting disease, so it's really changed. But the virus hasn't, and it's a terrible disease. Your bird just loses weight and loses weight. I hand-fed her, like I was feeding her to try to keep her weight up, and it didn't help. It probably slowed the process down, but it didn't help. So it was a real challenge. How I'm dealing with it. She, you know, it's not easy because she was thousands of dollars. The vet was thousands of dollars. Okay, I got interrupted, so we're back. So for 2.5 years, from when Cami was a baby, we started introducing she and Kailani, and they were so bonded. If one of them came out of the cage, especially if Cami came out of the cage, then Kailani here would be like, wah, wah, where's my sister? It's like, you can't put my sister more than 5 feet away from me. Be gentle, Mac monster. So, you know, I called them the Mac monsters, and it's like, now I guess I have one Mac monster, and I don't know, they were more monstrous as two. So it's like an adjustment in the way, what I call self-image, in the way I kind of saw them, the way, you know, I kind of saw my flock. And it's hard, you know, it is really hard, but I am trying to really focus on her. She has been really changing her behavior towards me. Things like that. She's hardly grabbing me. I mean, that's a little harder, but you know, she's just, she's really been a lot sweeter, really, with me. And I have her out of her cage more in the house. I couldn't have them out of the cage in the house because, you know, they go around and break things. But Kailani doesn't do it as much. So basically when I had both of them, they were out back, and now inside she's out by herself, you know, on a perch, and she keeps flying to me. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. She goes and she flies on my shoulder. She, you know, she just doesn't want to be alone, of course. Okay, I'll stop petting you. Okay. Thank you. See, she's not leaving a mark or anything. And, you know, I don't know how much of it is preening. Yeah, she's preening me. Thank you, sweetie. I know. I know, because now you and I have to take care of each other, huh? Yeah. We let her see the body. We let Kailani here see Cammie's body so that Kailani would know, and I think she knew. But basically, I'm really focusing on my other birds. One thing that was hard is I was spending time, my husband too, holding Cammie and loving her and trying to help her. I mean, just every way we could. So that took time away from the other birds. So now I'm trying to, you know, focus my time on the other birds. And I have also really, I let myself be sad, really be sad the first couple of days. So now I'm not feeling as sad. You know, I guess things always change and life always goes on. So in some ways, it just is what it is. But with a larger bird, it's different. Larger birds are more like children. And I think it's very possible that smaller birds, even though they completely have personalities, and they do. Don't forget, I have parrotlets, which are the second to smallest in the whole Cetacine family. They're 30 grams and they're this tall, which is about the size of her face. And so I know that parrotlets really have a personality. But with the bigger birds, maybe their personality is just more in your face and more pronounced because they're bigger and they're in your face and in your ears. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like, you know, one of my theories, honestly, is that parrots are like a hive mind, like in the Borg, like the Star Trek shows. Because when you get a parrot, you kind of get into the mindset, and for a lot of us, you wind up getting like 1 parrot, 3 parrots, 5 parrots, you know. And so it's almost like, hey, now that was a little harder. Hey, okay, I put her on the ground as a consequence for biting at me. It didn't hurt, but I don't, you know, I need to try to communicate to her that that's not okay. So what I was saying is, and you can hear her climbing up the chair. I think she'll come back. I'm watching to see if she comes back. What I was saying is, I think like with the larger parrots, it's almost like they have more ability to hive mind you. And in some ways it's easier to connect with them. And I'm not saying it's not easy to connect with smaller birds. Again, I have those smaller birds, and I have one little parrotlet, Frenchie, and she's like, yeah, I don't have a lot of time spent with her, but she still is like, you're mine. But with a big bird, it really is different. Maybe part of it is they're bigger and better, and they're a lot harder to not hear, not anything, right? I mean, they're in your face. But I feel like the personalities are bigger too. So it really feels like someone, not a bird. Like someone's missing from the home. Something's really different in our house. And it's funny because with parrots, our house is loud, and it feels like it's kind of quieter. And it's not literally, but you know, it's there. So I would say that if you have a bird and you're trying to deal with a loss, the way I'm doing it, and what I would say is, you know, we've really focused, my husband too, on having had such an amazing macaw. The hybrids, which Cammie was a Harlequin macaw, they're both hybrids. Kailani's a Catalina. The hybrids are not that common. They're not that easy to find. They're incredible. They're beautiful. Cammie was really big because she was half green wing, and after the hyacinth, green wings are the biggest. So it's like, what an incredible experience to have had a bird like that. What an incredible experience to have the birds that I have. I think that, you know, had I had a flock 50 years ago, I wouldn't have as many birds. There just weren't as many birds as readily available. So I really focus on the fact that I'm so fortunate. I live in Florida. There's exotic birds here. I have over 20 species. It's ridiculous. It's like, what an incredible thing. She was incredible. Kailani's incredible. Now Kailani and I are spending more time together because I always say you should have two. I had two, and now, right now, we have no interest in getting another macaw. It's just, you know, it's just not the right thing for us. And so, I don't know. Maybe it's because Kailani and I, maybe we're left to connect and grieve together.